Ritual is hardly the only brand running a 40% off site-wide sale. And with Black Friday coming up, you've probably got tons of items on your list. Diaper disposal, strollers, those snuggly little knapsacks for baby. But how about what your body needs? With a range of pregnancy-safe nutrient support, including natal choline, omega-3 DHA, and their best-selling prenatal multivitamin, Ritual is where you can use your savings to support you and your baby. All of their pregnancy nutrient support is third-party tested, vegan, and clean label project certified, with ingredients sourced through their trademark traceable supply chain. Ritual works with scientists and OBGYNs, selecting for key ingredient forms that are gentle on the stomach and bioavailable for the body. They sweat the small stuff because they know you would too. So this Black Friday, give back to your body. Shop the essentials for 40% off at ritual.com/podcast.
Creating a better future? That's on you. Paying the community college tuition to get you there? That's on us. Time to switch from just having a job to starting a rewarding career? That's on you. The tuition to pay for your education? That's on us. We're Michigan Reconnect, the state-free tuition program, so we'll pay your community college tuition. Apply now before time runs out and ditch a mere paycheck and start banking a salary. Because that's on you, but the tuition is on us. Apply now at michigan.gov/reconnect and grab your future before time runs out.
It's time for the Steve and Kyle podcast with Kyle.
Was that kind of his first foray after the Beatles? 74. That has to be pretty close, right? When did John get the old heave-ho from Life?
That was in 80. Was that the old heave-ho from Life?
I said heave-ho. I shouldn't have said it that way.
No.
Because where was he being heave-hoed from?
Earth.
And Steve.
Like when we rank our big fights. The crockpot fight, obviously. The drywall carrying incident, 1A and 1B. And then it'll be her non-commitment to watching TV shows that I like.
Imagine that being the straw. I let you scream at me about the drywall. I let you shame me about having 2 crockpots. I will not have you shame me about not watching Succession seriously enough.
Live on tape from APS 3 point whatever, it's the Steve and Kyle podcast.
Struck a bit of a nerve there.
How often do those things, because at least in my marriage and most friendships, those type of fights, those ones that you remember, in this case, the crockpot fight, the drywall
incident,
and now Annette's unwillingness to sit and focus while watching Succession, which again hasn't been a fight, but we're talking hypothetically if it would. How often do those get revisited? Because for me, that's torture. I'd rather never have to indulge that again or think about it again, and let alone bring it up again.
Yeah, I like once it's over, it's over.
Yeah. It's a good thing we got this podcast then.
Yeah.
So we can reminisce about the drywall at least yearly. Now, we only addressed the crockpot fight once.
Yeah,
and that is the current king of the mountain, if I remember your rankings from a week ago correctly.
Yeah.
Well, 1A and 1B.
It's funny that was mentioned last week. It was mentioned that in that intro because that came up the other day at Family Thanksgiving.
Are you serious?
The timing is impeccable. We had met up with all of Annette's family like an hour from here.
Now, you did this same location
2 years ago.
It was 2 years ago?
Yeah,
okay.
2 years
I didn't
ago.
know how long it had been.
Yeah, it was 2019. That was pretty much the last time we've seen her whole side of the family because of, COVID.
So did they know about Annette being pregnant now?
They did not. A few people did because we had posted about it on social media, posted about it on Facebook.
That's right.
But a lot of them didn't see it.
It's one of those.
And I was shocked because I thought for sure as soon as we posted about it and it was public that her mom, because her mom keeps in contact with everyone, like talks to everybody on the phone on a regular basis. So I thought for sure that they would have found out. And
the phone tree.
Yeah, the phone tree would have been activated. But we were sitting there and it was just a couple of us sitting around, like one of Annette's two of her aunts and me and Annette's mom. We were sitting there, and I forget why the topic came up, but somebody asked Annette. They said, "Oh, how old were you when Evelyn was born?" And she said 34. And Annette's mom was like, "Oh, I was 31 when you were born." Or I don't know. There was a few other interjections, and her aunt then looked at me and said, "Steve, how old are you now?" And I said 40. And
your late 30s.
Exactly, my late 30s. She understood. She's on board.
Yeah, good.
I said 40, and I'll be barely 41 if the baby arrives on their due date. And everyone just kind of goes, "Oh, okay, yeah." And then after a minute, her aunt looks at me and says, Wait, repeat what you just said? I said, "Well, the baby's due June 13th.
Yeah.
My birthday's May 28th. So if the baby, if it's full term, then I'll be 41, just barely." And she said, "You guys were expecting?" I said, Oh, Yee, glad this was my secret that we revealed and not someone else's.
What a way to find out.
Yeah,
but
I assumed that they knew.
That is a golden rule of big announcements like that, because you shouldn't be expected to make your way down the entire line.
No.
That's so much. You'd be sitting there you're either doing it form text message, which then somebody's going to be offended because they thought you were closer than you actually are and they wanted a call.
Yeah.
Or you just don't make it, or, they're not, we'll skip them. No, and then they find out secondhand and they're upset.
Yeah, I think that the way that we've dealt with big news like that is like when Annette and I got engaged. I told my parents and I said, "Disseminate the information.
Do your will."
So my mom contacted her siblings. My dad did the same. And that's kind of what we did with this too. It's like, here's the info. You take the ball. You run with it. You tell whoever you think is going to be interested in this, you let them know. And then we did, because we did the Christmas card, we've done that the last couple of years. So this year, actually earlier today, I ordered our Christmas cards for this year. And it's signed. It's like "Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas," whatever, signed, or the McKiernan family, Annette, Steve, Evelyn, and baby M, due June 2022.
Perfect. So you're doing the job that
exactly.
if anybody else was missed or skipped, this is your way of filling in those gaps.
Yeah. Just, it's I thought of making the card completely generic and just saying, "Happy Year." Mm-hmm. All the holidays, just hope you have a good one.
Lump them all in. So the only reason I ask that is because these things where you're at, your in-laws or your spouse's family, you just took really any onus off of you. Because now the center of attention and all the questions and conversation is guided towar's new baby.
How are you feeling and how far along? And I just kind of...
You're off the hook.
It's like that, like that GIF of Homer just kind of fading back into the bushes.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about me.
It's kind of you were there.
It's fine.
You did your part. It's your baby too.
Yep.
But you're not the one going through literally any changes.
No, none whatsoever
for the next however many months.
No.
So
I'm hoping to stay in great shape throughout this pregnancy.
You think that's going to happen? Yeah. You think it'll be?
I do.
You should mention it constantly too. Like every time you come inside or come...
Like every appointment that we go to where she has to step on the scale, I just kind of look over her shoulder and go, like, "I'm down 2 pounds this week. How about you?"
Like step out of the shower and purposely with just a towel wrapped around your waist go, "Look at this.
I think I got an ab.
This stomach is flat as it's ever been. Honey!" And then just step back into the bathroom. Don't allow time for comment.
Right. I have to throw in "no offense" real quick.
Oh, right. Yeah. Close the door and then crack it open real quick. "No offense." And then shut it again.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like after about another 6 or 7 months of this, the order of our top fights may be reordered a bit.
But then in 3 or 4 months, I need you to, like one night when you guys are just sitting on the couch watching a show, you're sitting, your legs are sprawled out in front of you, go, you ever just sit back and look at your toes?
And notice how much you notice them.
Just weird things, toes. You know what I mean? and then glance at her and see.
Of all of the terrible advice that's been given out on this podcast, this might be some of the worst. Some of the worst.
Oh.
But we digress. In that intro, the infamous crockpot fight was mentioned, where we were registering for our wedding. And Annette wanted to register for a crockpot. We already had a crockpot. I didn't see the reason for it. It turned into this big blow-up fight.
But it wasn't, if I recall, this wasn't a, 10 minutes you guys are upset with each other. Because this stewed right back because it was on your registry.
It lasted long enough where it was brought up and talked about at great length during our premarital counseling with PK.
Right, PK, rest in peace.
He is still, well, I can't say that definitively. I assume he is still amongst us.
You guys haven't scheduled your yearly checkup?
No, he is retired now.
Just like the docs?
Yeah.
You got, yearly physical, yearly visit with PK.
No.
You guys check in and remind him how much his sage wisdom and advice has guided you through the years?
No.
Who would have thought?
I liked PK too. I thought he was a great guy.
A nice man.
Very nice man.
But yeah, so
yeah. He was very much of the belief of, the old happy wife, happy life. Ha ha.
Yeah, that's right. You bring back those 60s and 70s mantras.
Right. But yeah, so over the weekend we were visiting with Annette's family, and it was it was basically a potluck. Everyone was assigned a dish. We were assigned mashed potatoes once again, which perfect. I love, I can do that no problem. They always come out good. There's never that wonder of, did I get it right this time? Right. Simple. Potatoes, milk, butter, salt, pepper.
It's really easy.
That's it. So
if you can screw up mashed potatoes, I'm not trying to demean your contribution to the meal, but bringing mashed potatoes is a bottom rung responsibility.
It's
which
hard
is
to
good.
mess them up. It's hard to mess them up, but if you do mess them up, they're terrible because they're lumpy or they have, some people like them with the skin still in it. I'm just no.
I don't mind the skin still in it.
But if I'm making them, it's going to be
it's
going to be a smooth potato, no lumps. There's nothing bouncing around in there.
But in terms of responsibility and additions to the table, again, that's in the bottom tier of Thanksgiving additions.
Yeah, I don't know though because
everybody wants it.
Yeah, because when you think Thanksgiving, obviously turkey. But number 2,
probably
maybe 1A is mashed potatoes.
I mean, stuffing is up there.
Yeah.
But what I'm implying is, are they giving this to you because it's like, well, 1 year they screwed up the green bean casserole.
Yeah, old dummy over there can't screw this up. I don't know.
Remember when he kept putting salt instead of sugar, and then he'd laugh about it, and we'd all have to suffer?
And you know something? If that is the case, I'm fine with that.
Right.
I'm okay with that. I feel like even though it's a Thanksgiving staple, it's very easy to make.
It is.
Very easy. So,
is there something you want? Is there an item on the menu you're like, I want to take a crack at that, and I want to show, I want to, give everybody my best shot on homemade stuff.
Yeah, I want to do pies. I mean, I
make some pies?
I can do pumpkin pie, no problem, but I've always wanted to try a pecan pie or a Dutch apple pie.
Now, are you talking make your own crust?
The
whole shebang.
Yeah, I want to do the whole thing.
Whereas, Aunt Linda is showing up and she's 40 minutes late, frazzled, and then she brings out of her purse one Sara Lee.
I'll tell you what, though,
cherry pie.
The people that were in charge of pies, they brought pies from Grand Traverse Pie Company, which if you've never had, I mean, there's no chance that I'm going to make anything nearly as good as the Grand Traverse Pie Company. So I was thrilled when I saw those boxes being taken out of the bag. But we digress again. So we got there on Thanksgiving Day. A bunch of people were there already, and the crock pots are all lined up around the room. They had already blown the breaker 3 times because they had too many crock pots plugged into one.
It's not meant for that.
No, not at all. It's a meeting room. It's a conference room in a hotel. It's meant for if you need to charge your phone, there's one outlet. Instead, we had one outlet with like 9 different power strips coming off of it.
Right.
So I'm carrying the crock pot with 6 pounds of mashed potatoes in it, and I set it down on the table. And somebody said, "Oh, I like that crock pot because it has the little latches on it, so you can actually clamp the lid down so the lid doesn't slide off if you're traveling with it." And Annette goes, "See, I told you this is the kind we have to have." I'm like, we have it. We got it.
Yeah, because I mean, lost in the discussion of the fight was how the fight turned out.
We got it.
You got the second crock pot.
We got the crock pot. Like,
so this is almost like a linebacker sticking the running back, right, on 4th and 1, and then instead of walking to the sideline, Annette, 3 years later, is now standing over your limp body and saying, pointing at you, and then brushing the dirt off her shoulder or whatever. Because you have the second crock pot. Was the first crock pot considered?
I don't even know if we still have it. I think as a compromise, when we got the second one, I made her get rid of the first one.
Right, because that would make sense.
Yeah.
So I did update that. I put that on the poll. I know it's been a few years, and we probably revisited or visited
it's
this.
Been almost exactly 4 years.
The way I worded it is, what is the proper number of personal crock pots to own? 0, 1, 2, or 3 and up. So I'll be curious to see how this turns out, because I think you're so in the right.
I know.
Especially since
we have
lumping us
we also have the Instant Pot, which in itself is a crock pot as well. So we technically had 3 at one point. This is we don't make food in bulk that often.
And that's what I'm saying. Not to lump us in together. We're not doing these massive gatherings with, hey, another Saturday, another gathering of 25 people that we've got to get the crock pot out for. Or, hey, another chili cook-off that I decided to enter.
For the 2 or 3 times a year that we use them, very convenient.
Right.
For the 2 or 3 times a year.
Yeah.
So, that came up again. That was...
So it seems like, I don't know if you still revisit that or consider it outside of whenever it gets brought up on this podcast, like the drywall fight. But it seems like that has stuck in Annette's craw.
Oh, yeah.
Since its incarnation 4 years ago.
Well, when she brought it up, I almost didn't. I remembered that there was a fight about a crock pot, but I couldn't really remember which side I was on or what it was actually about.
Sure.
I was pretty sure that it was about, I think we already have one, but I don't know. I couldn't remember.
That's one that, for me, I would try to look back on and say, boy, how silly. We got upset at each other over a crock pot before we were even married. It was going to be a gift anyway. Yeah. So, boy, how silly. Ha, ha, ha. Yet here we are 4 years later, and you're getting a finger in the face. Ha! Told you so. You're getting the old told you so 4 years later.
You won. You are the victor.
I'll put that on the poll, too. Does every marriage have a 4 year later, quote, told you so moment?
If that's not 100%, I don't know what will be. I know that normally we do this towards the end of the episode, but this is something that I am so excited about because it's been sitting right next to me for about the last week and a half. Can we get to an early viewer mail time?
Oh, you don't need to ask me.
Okay.
Hey folks, viewer mail time again. Oh, here's one from Sally, age 14. Dear Pig.
Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum.
It's the third one.
Yeah, seamless.
It's the third one that really brings that intro home.
A couple of weeks ago, probably 3 weeks ago at this point, we received a message from our friend Trevor in Dixon, right?
Yeah.
It's not Trevor in Nashville.
Yeah, we've removed the ability for him to call himself Trevor in Nashville because he is, again, he's like somebody in like Roseville, Illinois, saying he lives in Chicago. Stop. Or, the Catskills saying you're from New York City. So, Trevor, I love you to death, but you're Trevor in Dixon now. That's how you'll be. If you could please update.
Wait a minute. No. I'm sorry. It's Burns, Tennessee.
Well, I believe his checks come from Dixon then.
Okay.
I believe.
That's right.
Trevor's payment.
Trevor also, he sends us a check for $20.21. At least the last 2 months, 3 months.
It's like when you donate now or you send something via PayPal and they ask, do you want to cover the 54-cent processing fee?
Right.
It's like they're asking him that. And he says, yeah, sure. And so the dollar amount's being all wonky. But yes, this arrived, I believe you and I you had told me that Trevor messaged and said something was at the P.O. box.
Yeah, I think that it was because we recorded kind of out of sequence last week, and I think it actually showed up the day that we recorded, but I didn't pick it up until after we had already recorded. So,
how big is your P.O. box? Because this is
very small. It's it's big enough to hold for just standard letters.
Oh, okay. So,
but what they do is if you get something bigger than that, they put a little slip in there, or they put the key in there for one of the bigger boxes.
Got it.
So Annette was going to the post office. She had to mail out some stuff, and she said, hey, there's something in the P.O. box. I'll grab it. I was like, cool. And she sent me a picture of it, and it was a very big box.
Oh,
and
boy.
I said, oh, Jesus. Trevor, what have you done? So it's right here in an Amazon box.
Yeah.
So now's the time, I guess.
Let's do it. Let's see what this thing is. Oh, man. The solstice season has arrived early, Steve. All right. That is very big. Very big and very thin. So I have an idea of what this may be, but boy, oh boy, this would be very indulgent if this is what I think it is.
Let me get back over here.
There we go.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, Steve can see it. I can't.
I think I know.
It's tilted away. I can't
I would
see.
say it's about 3 feet tall, about a foot wide, this box.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to hold up the box so you can read.
Okay. That says 36-inch LED digital time bar.
Oh, Jesus, Trevor. Trevor bought the clock?
This
Our
is
stopwatch?
This is ridiculous. So this is what we semi-jokingly said we want for the studio.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
36 inches, huh?
Let's, Steve, you've got it over there if you want to.
It's as big as the box.
Oh, my God. Okay. Yeah, it's bigger than I thought, huh? Maybe.
In hindsight, maybe.
36 was a little too big.
24 would probably suffice.
I mean, honestly,
considering we're going to be sitting 7 feet away from it.
Yeah, this, based on what I'm seeing, this is more of a distraction than, because
when we joked about getting that scoreboard from the gymnasium, this isn't that far from it.
Unwrapping.
Boy, I
okay,
like
well,
the blue though.
Is it just
Look
one?
at that
is it
blue.
just one outlet or one adapter to an outlet, Steve?
Let's see.
To plug in.
Yep. Yes.
Oh, you've got to just.
I'm surprised it's not a. I'm surprised we don't need to hire an electrician or it says professional installation required.
If you want to send a text to Annette that she may lose power upstairs when you plug this in, go.
I'm gonna go plug it in.
Head over towards IKEA kitchen there and see. Let's see how this thing looks. I am excited. Oh, Trevor, this is far too kind. Okay, Steve setting on top. Oh my God, that is. So right now, Steve, I'm sitting further away than I will be in APS 4.0.
Yeah, probably by 3 feet.
And that thing is very large. It's not on yet. Okay, that's on.
Whoa. Boy, that's.
I know you've already put up your Christmas lights, but this is something like that they have to put on top of water towers so airplanes don't run into them.
It's excessively bright. Okay, here's the remote.
Hey, how nice is that though? It like out of the box, it updated to the.
Yeah, that's the correct time. It's within a minute of what my computer says, what my phone says, what my watch says.
We just need to switch it now to the. We want the stopwatch. Yeah. We just want to time it.
So there's I noticed on the back there of the clock there are buttons that simply say A, B, and C.
I'm guessing they.
Oh, okay. So you have corresponding
with the
buttons
remote.
on your
Let's start with the first one. We're going to set. This thing is gorgeous.
Okay, so A looks like it starts blinking, so we can set the time.
Okay. So we don't need A. We're not going to set the minutes or the hours or the minutes.
Okay.
No, let's get there. Go to B, which is add. What are we adding? Oh
boy! It adds.
It somehow gets brighter.
It adds brightness.
Still brighter.
That actually hurts.
You could put this in Evelyn's room.
I'm seeing halos
as a nightlight. Okay,
there we go. Now all the way down to the lightest.
And see it. Okay.
C turns it off. All right. Hold on. Let me check out the.
Boy, nothing like doing this while we correct the mics, figuring out how to get this thing to count for us.
Okay.
Because, of course, by the way, we can't figure out how to make something that, how many pixels, it's like 25 total bars of light. We can't figure out how to make it work correctly for us.
All right. Let's see. How do we. Adjusting the clock. No, we don't need to adjust the clock. Notes on the cord. Notes on the plug. Maintenance. Placement. Intended use. Okay, this device is used to display the following information: current time in hour and minute format.
Wait. Is that it? Did we insinuate
oh no.
to have Trevor
No, hold on. It can't be.
Spend way too much money to then buy us the world's biggest clock?
How does... No, it wouldn't be this, like...
We both sit here with laptops that have time on them.
This is just a big clock.
What's the box say? You got the box right next to you. What does it say on the front?
Okay, it says Ivation 36-inch LED digital time bar.
Oh my God. I mean, this is like a clock that you see at a community center.
This is in it's in every school cafeteria.
It's so big.
It's massive.
And it's
does 36
nothing.
inches wide by 8 to 10 inches tall, and it is the brightest blue that has ever blued.
Let me show you its functionality.
Bright, really bright, bright. Dim. Wait, hit C.
Oh, hang on. C's the ticket. Oh my God.
What have we done?
Because why wouldn't this happen? Why wouldn't this happen, Steve?
Oh my God. This is amazing.
We would be happy to handle the logistics of figuring out how to exchange.
Facilitating an exchange.
For this. Because while this is, and maybe this was what was intended, while this is a lovely, lovely gesture, I just think it's a little too big.
Do you think, now, I think that when I was a kid, this would have been described to me by my mom as saying, I think your eyes were bigger than your belly. Like when you get pizza and you put 9 slices on your plate and then you eat like 3 of them.
You know what?
I think this was a...
Now that we've seen the 36, now that we've seen it.
I need to carry it into the future home.
And we'll post a picture of what this thing looks like, the size. Now, granted, it's not that hard to understand what 3 feet is. So when Steve, you and I were talking weeks ago about, hey, 36 inch, that'd be pretty cool. We obviously know what 3 feet is, but once you see it in the scope of everything else in the room you're sitting in, you can't understand that how excessive 36 inches is.
All right, so we have the TV that's mounted on the wall in there, which we have since named the Tron.
Yeah.
Is a 42-inch. Now, 42-inch TVs, that's obviously measured diagonally, so
That's
it's
right.
about 38 inches wide, meaning our little scoreboard here is just barely narrower than the television.
It's actually unbelievable.
Yeah.
Because I can't believe this happened. I mean,
I did not have any idea.
I'm not blaming Trevor at all.
No. Trevor, because I remember looking at it.
Yeah.
All he did was type in exactly what we said, because I still have the one saved. And that's the exact one that he purchased.
Okay. Oh, boy. Let me type in that brand.
Does Ivation maybe make a 36-inch or maybe, something? Do they make a 24-inch LED digital time bar with stopwatch?
Hey, we're in luck.
Yeah?
We can get the extra functionality. Yep. And I'm looking at the picture, and there's a totally different remote.
Okay.
24 inches.
All right.
Exact same price as the 36-inch clock.
Huh. That's some tricky maneuvering there on the prices.
So Trevor, let's get in touch and figure out how to facilitate what we need to do.
I'm sure that would be an easy thing. But again, Trevor, if you're not up for it, not a problem.
Be happy to keep the clock.
I will find a local youth organization.
Yeah, maybe
setting up a rec league,
maybe a women's shelter. Or hear me out. We keep it, and we kind of, I don't know if the term is waterfall it, but I'm thinking we keep the 36-inch clock,
okay,
and then below it we get the 24-inch timer.
Oh, the 24-inch. Okay, so
and then we keep almost like a bowling pin setup.
Okay, so maybe underneath that we can get one that shows like barometric pressure or something.
Temperature.
Yeah.
So we
need like a compass, like in your car, so you always know which way we're traveling when we're sitting stationary.
So we put a compass static on the wall to let us know which direction that's facing.
Yeah.
Constantly.
One of those like oscillating graphs that shows the phases of the moon,
and it just goes down, and then we can give a full astrology report and weather report every week on the Steve and Kyle podcast.
Yeah.
Well, this was, beyond generous. This is ridiculous. The fact that this money was spent is absurd, Trevor. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Trevor. I'm not sure how we screwed this one up.
It just feels right, though, that we did.
It does. I hope that we need to message Trevor right now and say, just wait until you listen on Tuesday.
There we go. All right.
It just seems right that it happened, because we can't get the simplest things right.
All right. There. Sent him a message. This is somewhat embarrassing. Yeah. Not surprising. Thanks again, Trevor. This is beyond generous. I
kind of wish that we had opened this thing like 2 weeks ago. It probably could have been resolved by now.
Yeah. Let's we'll be in touch. Figure out how to do swapsies on this and get something different, or just
ignore
send
it.
Back to
just
him.
Ignore the message.
We could send it back to him. I think Trevor has use for a 36-inch clock.
Yeah. I don't know.
Does anybody?
Yeah, we could auction it off.
I'll put it on the poll.
Does
anybody have use for a 36-inch clock? And everybody who says yes, I'll message them privately.
But say clock, but then in parentheses, only, with a question mark after it.
Oh, man. That is fantastic. Hey, we're getting close to the deadline day.
Speaking of gift giving.
Today, if you're listening to this, it's, I don't even know what day it is, Steve, do you?
It is Sunday, November 28th, 2021, the year of our Lord, the Steve and Kyle podcast. The year of 2021 quickly coming to a close. Hot Take Summer, just one day away from being...
Oh my gosh, it's already over.
Modified Hot Take Summer. By the time you're hearing this, Modified Hot Take Summer will be over.
That means keep your eye on Steve's Twitter.
Yeah.
For the one and only hot take.
It could be many.
Could be a stream of consciousness.
Just brewing up here.
Of hot takes.
Just brewing.
And don't expect a back and forth conversation, because as Steve treats his Twitter, you take that hot take, you eat it, and you leave it there. Yeah. He's not going to have a back and forth with you like I will.
I'll tell you what, I'll check on those responses in a couple of weeks when I log into Twitter again.
But if you're listening to this today, on November 30th, when it's released, it is the deadline day.
Final day.
To join the 6th annual Steve and Kyle podcast, Cloak and Dagger Non-Denominational Winter Solstice Gift Exchange. It is it. We have tied and surpassed. I think we may have surpassed our record number of entrants, which is fantastic to hear. But we still want some more. We still want some more people in there to really bring this thing home. Today is the deadline. We will do our best. It's not like we're going to be, Scrooge and telling people if you message us on Friday, no. But we can't guarantee you a spot at that point. Mm-hmm. So we are looking to have names out to other people by the end of this week to send your gift to. Again, the spirit of this gift exchange is the anonymous community that has embraced this podcast over the 6 years or 5+ years we've been doing this. And that's kind of the nature we want to keep it. Keep your gifts to $10 to $20 maximum.
Yeah, nothing
You
big.
can send it to them directly from a retailer. You can get it sent to you, wrap it, send it yourself. It's up to you.
You don't need to be a Trevor and send an Ivation 36-inch LED digital time bar with time only.
And please don't.
Trevor, I hope you appreciate the joy that we are having.
Just outstanding.
Please know
this makes me laugh.
We are extremely grateful.
We
just laugh at the fact that we screwed it all up.
It's amazing. We do it so willy-nilly, off the cuff, that we're like,
that's the one.
This is the one. Obviously, that's the thing we wanted.
No research.
Why would we look for anything different? So $10 to $20 maximum dollar amount for your gift recipient. You can choose to remain anonymous. You can leave your name on a card. You can send it from yourself directly. That does not matter. It's totally up to you. You can do something in the spirit of this podcast, whether it be Kenny Rogers. Maybe it's the Edmund Fitzgerald. Maybe it's a crock pot. Maybe it's something from the town.
Can you get a $20 crock pot these days?
Yeah, right. You probably can. It's just close to Black Friday.
Yeah.
It can be something from Van Wert, Ohio. It could be something from your hometown to spread the joy of your community to somebody else who may not get to visit and enjoy that. So there's no pressure. We just want the largest sense of community that we try to bring together. And us here on the staff will be doing the same the week of the solstice as well when we record in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Always look forward to that. Please get your names in now. We need your full name and your address. That's it. That's all you have to send us in, you're in. And then by the end of this week, we'll send you a message, again, with the name and address of who you should be sending your gift to.
Yeah, it's just Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Message us at Steve and Kyle, and we will get back to you ASAP. Sometimes those messages go into the requests folder.
Yeah, but we do see them.
We don't. Yeah, but a lot of times, like if I'm not looking at it on my phone, I don't see the requests folder. So, but we do keep an eye on it. We will for the next couple of days, and get us a message, and you will be in.
Yeah, buy something for somebody else's kid from Steve's wife's Etsy shop.
Hey, there you go.
He's got another kid coming.
Exactly.
He could use the dollars coming in. So please, just again, the main takeaway here that I'd like to impress is there is no pressure to put together some elaborate gift package.
No.
It can be a gag gift. It can be something that means something to you.
It could be an Ivation 36-inch LED digital time bar.
Time only.
Time only.
So please get your names in now. And again, if you miss it this year, apologies. We will be, if we're still doing this podcast, we'll get to that.
I don't know.
We'll do it again next
year.
You
did declare last week that my second child arriving in June is what officially kills the podcast.
Yeah.
You still see a week later. You still seeing that as truth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what we're sitting at time-wise here, Steve. We have plenty of time. Perfect.
If only we had a clock. It told us more than just the time.
We're gaping hole where about 36 inches of time should be.
We got plenty of time.
So here's my thinking because I do want to get to recap a lot of these polls from the last few weeks before we head out for the day. I think we navigated each having a child on our own, and it works. It's totally, some days we do it different days, a few hours different here and there.
We had, leading up to the arrival of both of our children, we had recorded kind of an evergreen episode that we had just waiting.
We had one in the can.
Yeah.
To make it so that we wouldn't even miss a single episode.
Look at that.
That's how much we care about content, and then I go off and have a little boo-boo.
Yeah, the old ticker boo boo.
That broke the 250 plus streak, or no, 220 plus streak.
Yep.
So my thinking is, though, navigating 2 is quite a bit harder.
Everybody that I've talked to said 2 is a game changer.
Yeah.
Everyone said that going from 1 to 2 is astronomically more difficult than going 2 to 3 or 0 to 1.
Because I feel like 2 to 3, you're already used to the multiples, right? So you know how to navigate if you have to go to the grocery store. Yeah. You know how to navigate if you need to do drop off or pick up for something.
Right. And the thing that I'm most worried about, other than having another human life that I'm now responsible for, like emotionally, financially, physically,
they literally can't move.
Right. I'm terrified of the thought that, like, we had numbers, but now they're gaining on us.
Yeah, you're going to be tied.
Yeah,
you're going to be tied, and you know what?
Yeah.
They're the ones, they're the horse charging around the last turn.
Yeah,
gaining on you.
Oh yeah, they're on their way up.
Yeah, they get more energy.
Uh-huh.
You don't.
No,
you've peaked. I don't know what science says. Age, you peak in terms of daily energy.
I've talked about this before, and I think we've brought it up on the podcast before. But look at your life as when you're born, you're down here.
Yeah.
And you start rising. Like your graph is going up. But at some point you start to die. Would you want that notification popping up on your dashboard? Because it could happen at 60.
Yeah.
But it could happen at 40.
Right. It's the eternal question. Would you want to know?
Once that light comes on, once the check engine light turns on, you are past the halfway point. You could be well past the halfway point too.
I still think I'd want to know, but that's just because it's the self-loathing.
But if that light comes on, that means you could be dead tomorrow.
Right.
As long as that light's off, it's like ignorance is bliss. I'm good. I'm still on my way up.
I think I'd still want to know, because then you're tortured by the idea, right? Of
just imagine the feeling you get when you're just hanging out, having a good day, maybe watching the game, drinking a beer, and all of a sudden,
eyes closed. I'm thinking about it. Right now.
And it's just a skull and crossbones, like in your
That's
peripheral,
the entire thing
in your peripheral, and it doesn't go away ever.
Yeah. Oh boy. Maybe I don't want to know.
It's tough, right?
Maybe I don't want to know anymore. I think you might be onto something because, ignorance is a bit of bliss there.
Yeah,
I think. But yeah, they're the ones who are going forward, be willing to run longer, be excited longer, cry, and you think they'll cry it out. They're not going to cry it out.
Yeah.
They've got more energy.
Yeah.
Then by then, Evelyn's going to be a little older. She's going to want to start staying up later. Your free time, that I've talked about it before, that golden 60 to 90 minutes or whatever that you get.
Yep.
That starts dwindling to half hour before you got to go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, you're thinking, boy, I got to get her to bed so I can go to bed.
Yeah. Yeah, that is, I think, honestly, that's one of the things I dread the most. I always dread bedtime, like bath time and bedtime.
Yep.
It's weird. I enjoy it because it's good quality time with my daughter, but it also really stresses me out.
Mm-hmm.
Just because there's so much going on. It's like, all right, we just finished dinner. We got to clean up after dinner. We got to, it's bath night too. Okay, so we got to squeeze in a bath in the next half hour.
Yeah.
Which is never easy.
No,
because it's a kid rushing in a bathtub and all they want to do is play with their toys.
Yeah, they just want to play.
And then, okay, now we gotta brush her hair. We gotta brush her teeth, clean up a little bit, put everything away. Now we gotta go upstairs, and it's
you're a little late, and then next thing you know, you're rushing to do that. Yeah, no, I get it. Here's why I think that this is the beginning of the end.
Okay.
Directly blaming your child, by the way, because I think it's slow, right? It's hey, sick infant, or whatever.
Yeah, because we've been terribly lucky.
Yeah.
With Evelyn.
Can we record?
She's never been sick. Like she was kind of under the weather for 2 days. She sleeps great. She eats great. And everybody that I tell that to is like, A, shut up.
Right.
B, oh, my first one was like that too. Just wait until the second one, and they're a complete hellion.
It's the assumption that you're going to get the inverse, no matter what.
You just assume that you will. It's funny how you look at it too. There's no in between either.
Right.
Like in my mind, they're either going to be great like Evelyn, or they're going to be a complete disaster. There's no shades of gray in there at all.
But it slowly starts. It's, hey, we got a sick infant. Can we do it then tomorrow? And I'm thinking, well, I've got to do this tomorrow with, and I can't get away from whatever.
Yeah.
Can we maybe do a Monday afternoon? Monday gets around. It's, hey, I'm stuck at doing this for, the side gig or the monkeys or whatever.
The only reason I think that it doesn't die is because my schedule is...
Your schedule's the same.
Right? Yeah, my schedule's the same, and it's pretty flexible.
Sure. All it takes is 1 week of doing a Tuesday night recording and trying to release it.
7:40, we're doing a Zoom call.
Yeah. And then next thing
do you hear me? Are you hearing me through the mic, or are you hearing me through the computer?
And the next thing you know, well, you know what? Skipping 1 week's not the end of the world.
Look, every other week you're going to get good content from us.
And then, we skip that 1 week, and we're sitting there that week going, hey, this ain't too bad. Not having to, whether it's get the board ready or, upload the audio or cut together the intro or just the solid fact of, hey, can you watch the children while I go crack wise for 90 minutes in the basement? I think that this might be the death knell for the. And you know what? We're going to get to 300 in 2 months.
Yeah, we're going to be there. Just 7 weeks, after the new year.
We've had a good run.
Yeah, I mean, look, if this was a TV show, we'd be in syndication.
Yeah, do we kill it while we're, we still got granted, we're not vibrant, healthy like we were on episode 3 or episode 10.
I don't know. I would debate that I'm more healthy than I was on episode.
We're walking through the mountains without shoes. We've lost a few toes to frostbite. You've got a limp. I've got a bad shoulder. I lost more hair.
Somehow.
And so, we're just not the same. Yeah. We had a good run. 300 plus took it out of us.
Maybe we just stop at 299.
And then reunite a few years down the road for the big 300.
But act like nothing happened.
Yep, it is. And then just announce the next day. Do a regular episode.
Yeah.
And we'll meet again a year after that. I mean, we always said initially we weren't numbering them, and we really don't. When you download this podcast, the subheading is whatever the episode number is. That's more for us as well.
Yeah.
But it's not titled the Steve and Kyle Podcast, Volume 292.
No.
It's the Steve and Kyle Podcast and the date.
Yeah.
Because the initial thinking on that was we don't want to promise you something that we don't know if it's coming.
Yeah, if you go back and listen to episode 1 of this podcast, or even the lost episode, which you will never be able to listen to.
Yeah, dead.
I said in there, by saying what episode it is, it's always making you, it's giving you the impression that there will always be another one.
Right. You don't want that guarantee because then it's putting pressure. The more pressure there is, the less enjoyable this becomes. And the second this thing is not enjoyable, is the second we burn this overpriced mixer and microphones in a fire pit and move on.
This is not my job. I have one of those. I like it.
Yeah, that one makes you money.
I don't need another one.
This one doesn't. Unless you count an iFation 36-inch LED digital timer bar. Time only. As payment for your services rendered over the last 290 episodes.
Trevor,
to this beautiful, beautiful audience.
Trevor, what have we done?
Steve, why don't we wrap up the polls from the last few weeks before we get out of here?
We can do that.
And set up for, get ready to prepare ourselves for the onslaught of having to distribute messages regarding the Solstice gift exchange.
Time to see how wrong everyone else is. It's poll recap time. Find the polls at Steve and Kyle on Twitter.
All right, going back a few weeks here. Is Keith Richards a cockroach?
Yeah.
82% of the audience said yes. What would you prefer to be known as? Leader of the band or Mr. Maestro?
Mr. Maestro, obviously.
That would have to be a runaway, right? Can you imagine?
You would think.
Only 54% of the audience said Mr. Maestro. I feel like that's like writing out, using too many words to explain what you are by calling yourself the leader of the band.
Yeah, too much, too wordy.
Condense it a little bit. Is there anything worse than a drum solo at a concert?
No. We actually had drummers comment on that and say, drummer here. No, nothing worse than that.
Yeah, like, we get it, man. Bang, 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 rang. Cool. Wrap it up.
Oh, that is the worst. We talked about it last week or the week before when the lights dim and you see the bassist walk off and you see the guitarist walk off and then you just hear...
57% of the audience said yes. There is something worse than a drum
solo
is it? At a concert. Mike Mokris was the one who commented, said someone who's played these since 1997. Nothing worse than a drum solo.
Terrible.
And then Tony Rodabaugh took a picture behind a drum set. Awful. You got drummers. Yet they're like the most revered, like women love the drummers,
I'm
right?
not saying that they're not talented.
Oh, I am.
I mean, of course you are.
Put them next to the pianist.
I think they bring a lot to a performance. I just don't want to hear them by themselves.
Give me a triangle or something. Talent.
A triangle solo.
Just taking over.
Ding, 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 ding.
Look at me, I flip them in the air. Whippity doo. Cool. Is it a prerequisite for a drummer to be a juggler?
Yeah.
64% of the audience said yes. Are drummers the worst part of any band? 70% of the audience said no.
Really?
I would be
Any
curious.
comments on there?
Just one, but I don't know. I mean, the bassist.
Probably the bassist.
People seem to hate the bassist, right?
Yeah.
Because it's the least talented spot. I mean, outside of a drummer. Is November 10 okay to turn on your outdoor holiday lights?
Was that the day that I did it?
That was.
Okay.
60% of the audience said no.
Good.
You jumped the gun.
Boy, I have half a strand out.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Did the discount buying from Amazon come back to bite you?
When I was up there installing them, I noticed one strand was particularly a little fussy.
Yeah.
And it would, like, if you move it a half inch one way, they'd be on, half inch the other way, it would be off. But then I plugged them in and I got everything clipped in and everything was good. But now half of the strand is out.
You're not going to pay post-Thanksgiving prices, are you?
I would rather die. I would rather die a painful death.
You know what you tell those
I've already had to buy strand 15 and 16.
Yeah? You know what you tell those lights? We'll see you on Cinco de Mayo.
I already got a new plan. All the lights, they're being sold.
Oh, my God. After all that you went through.
After all of it, yeah.
Was Bing Crosby the last Bing that was made? 83% of the audience said yes. Would you take one Bing Crosby or two Gordon Lightfoots?
Ooh.
Two Gordons.
I forget where I stood on this.
69% of the audience said two Gordons.
Two Gordos, huh?
Boy, a lot of people discounting the life of Bing Crosby.
Mm-hmm.
Would you listen to a mashup of Olivia Newton-John and Meatloaf? I have no idea why that's there. 52% of the audience said yes. Have you ever seen Olivia Newton-John and Meatloaf in the same room?
Oh, boy.
91% of the audience said no.
That looks like that's the history of the mystery.
Is there a certain age you have to hit before you start craving the era of Matlock and Columbo?
I don't remember what this was in reference to at all.
81% of the audience said yes. I believe that was us talking about the quote-unquote golden age of TV and entertainment and how there's so many options.
That's right.
When it seems like there's a generation who just says, just give me Matlock or Columbo.
Yeah.
I know what they're going to do every week on, Thursday night on CBS.
Yeah.
Is all trees do kill people? 72% of the audience
Said yes?
said yes.
Good.
It's the only thing they're responsible for. That is it.
Smart people.
For the polls.
Oh, boy.
Money more up there, though, at Stephen Kyle on Twitter.
a bunch up today. Hopefully getting to my concrete countertops in the next week or so. I was supposed to do it last week, but the friend that was going to help me was sick. Could not be bothered with such a stupid request from me. So hopefully next week.
Yeah, we will hopefully have an update on APS 4.0. The march towards January 1st, 2022 is upon us. 2
weeks ago, I was like, plenty of time.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago, you were like, it's 7 weeks away or 6.5 weeks away. And now it's 5 or 4.5 weeks away. And I got the holidays, so we got gatherings, and then we're traveling and doing
I got some
and...
time off.
Okay.
I'm not traveling I'm traveling, but not until after the deadline. So we're going away just like January 3rd to the 5th.
So you've just got the monkey side gig
up until the
hullabaloo of
23rd, but I'm not back there until the 10th of January.
Well, you got a plan where you go and illegally enter someone's home, without their acceptance, without their approval.
Without their knowledge.
You've got to plan all that. I'm just saying there are interruptions there. So while the time says 4.5 weeks, take some time off for planning that, shopping for that, doing all this, plus work, plus already have. I'm just saying, January 1st, 2022 looms. It is coming. I don't know if we're going to make it. Now we've got a delay with the timer clock. So stay tuned. Maybe we'll have an update.
Is that new one in stock?
It is. Yeah, the 24-inch is in stock that has the capabilities of counting up.
Do you think we reach out to? Do we reveal this to Trevor before the episode comes out?
No.
So we get a 2-day head start on the whatever the process is.
No, let him find out. I think all we'll need from him is an email for a return or exchange or something. But then, we
got to drive to that UPS store, which is not convenient for anything.
We'll have to we'll have to figure this out. Thanks again, Trevor. Lovely, beyond generous gift.
Can't be said enough.
God, can't be said enough. And again, get your names in today, right now, if you want to be a part of the winter solstice gift exchange. The deadline is upon you.
It is. At Stephen Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Get that over to us. Boy, that realization that we got a 3-foot-long clock.
It's a kick in the stomach a bit, isn't it? Oof.
That one hurts. All this hard work I'm doing here in the studio. And Trevor sends us the wrong clock. Kidding, Trevor. Again.
The nerve of that guy.
100% our fault. All he did was transcribe exactly what we said, hit order, and sent it without any questions. But yeah, maybe we'll downgrade to the 24.
Yeah, I think that's probably wise for our eyeballs' sake.
All right, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, once again, at Stephen Kyle. Talk to you next week.
Ritual is hardly the only brand running a 40% off site-wide sale. And with Black Friday coming up, you've probably got tons of items on your list. Diaper disposal, strollers, those snuggly little knapsacks for baby. But how about what your body needs? With a range of pregnancy-safe nutrient support, including natal choline, omega-3 DHA, and their best-selling prenatal multivitamin, Ritual is where you can use your savings to support you and your baby. All of their pregnancy nutrient support is third-party tested, vegan, and Clean Label Project certified, with ingredients sourced through their trademark traceable supply chain. Ritual works with scientists and OBGYNs, selecting for key ingredient forms that are gentle on the stomach and bioavailable for the body. They sweat the small stuff because they know you would too. So this Black Friday, give back to your body. Shop the essentials for 40% off at ritual.com/podcast.
Streamline and strengthen your teams with WorkWise, your all-in-one technology solution for workforce management. Harness the power of AI, predictive scheduling, and data-driven insights to revolutionize how you manage your full-time, float pool, per diem, and agency staff. With WorkWise, experience unparalleled flexibility that enhances patient care and boosts operational efficiency. Discover the future of healthcare management with WorkWise by visiting amnhealthcare.com.
During the months of November and December, when you purchase a 20-ounce Mountain Dew and a Reese's King-Size Christmas tree, a portion of the proceeds benefit the Helen DeVos Children's Hospital. The Helen DeVos Children's Hospital provides award-winning, life-changing care to the children of our community. J&H Family Stores and you, partnering with your community since 1969. We appreciate and we value the communities that support us, and we're grateful for you. Thank you for making us part of your day. To find a location near you, visit myjhfamilystores.com.